Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is April 28, 2021. This is the midweek edition. The S&P 500 continue to make new high and market participants continue to put on risk. Is this too good of a good thing? And are we setting ourselves up for an abrupt market decline? In this video, we'll take a look at the price action of the S&P 500 and the other major market indexes, the sentiment, the market internals, and see are we getting closer to that inevitable day of reckoning. Stay tuned. So far this week, we saw Tesla reported earnings on Monday, and the result exceeded expectation, but the stock fell. Is this due to a case of price got ahead of expectation? And yesterday, Google reported earnings that blew away expectation, and the stock moved up more than 3%. Microsoft also reported yesterday with result beat expectation, but its stock is down almost 3%. And as of this recording, we're waiting for Apple and Facebook to report their earnings. And tomorrow, Amazon and Twitter will report their earnings after the market close. Also today, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, the Fed announced no change to its interest rate policy and no mentioning of tapering. And that helped the S&P 500 to move about 4,200 for the first time and into new all-time high territory once again before it pulled back. But not all indexes moved to record high today. We'll look at them later in this video. So why are the mixed messages? Is the market trying to fool us? Or is it trying to warn us? Let's look at the sentiment chart and see what the market participants are doing. The VIX continue to hover below 20, and the put-call ratio is showing the market participants are still putting on risk. Moving on to the market internal, we see the S&P 500 making new high with lower up-down volume ratio, with fewer stock participating in advance as we see fewer advancing issue leading declining issue. The NYSE new high, new low is also not showing sign of more stock making new 52-week high, as the S&P 500 makes new high. And the NYSE cumulative AD line is not moving up at an accelerated pace, while the S&P 500 makes record high, and that's a sign of internal weakness. The Nasdaq market closed down today. The Nasdaq 100 lost almost 59 points, or 0.42%. We did see some impressive up-down volume ratio in recent session, along with increasing advancing issue over declining issue. But even with these recent positive, it failed to follow the S&P 500 on making new high. Just like the NYSE, it lacked increasing number of stock making new 52-week high as the index moved into record high territory. The cumulative advanced decline line continued to show negative divergence, and it is not climbing at an accelerated pace. Now let's go take a look at the price action of the S&P 500 and the other major market indexes. All right, let's start off with the S&P 500 on this daily chart here. We see that it made a new all-time high here on intraday today, but it did not close with a new closing high. And the upside scenario that we were looking for was essentially come up to this headline news number, 4,200, and work toward this 141 extension at 4221. Now, I just took a peek at the earning reaction from Facebook and Apple, and they both reacted positively. So we could see some upside movement on the S&P 500. And at the end of this video, we'll go and take a look at some of the after-hour price action of Facebook and Apple. So right now, we're essentially looking at the possibility that the S&P 500 could move up further tomorrow. Now, would it get to this 4221? That we have to wait to find out. Now, the downside remains to come back into this channel and come down to this 4114 and possibly move down to this 4060 area and check this number here, and then eventually come back down, fill this gap, and check this 4020. For now, we just have to keep an eye on this 4221, this 141 extension, or how far above 4200 will it go. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Now here on the NASDAQ 100, we saw that it actually closed down And even yesterday, it did not put in a new high or close at a new closing high, because back here the high was 14,050.38. That was on April the 16th. And it closed at 14,041.91. And if you check here on April 26, it closed at 14,026.16. And yesterday, the high was only 14,048.34. So it is a few points shy of the high that was put in on April 16th. Okay, so right now we are going to see would it be able to come up and put in a new high with the positive earning reaction from Apple and Facebook. And if they do push this index to a new high, then we basically still monitoring this 14,167 as a potential target. This essentially is this 141 major move of this bull flag. And again, on the downside, we still be watching for the possibility of moving back down to this 13,713. Essentially, this is the 100% and also the pivot high here. Okay, so we're basically looking for this level to possibly be checked for potential support. And if that doesn't hold, then we're essentially looking for these extension to get tested. And the Russell 2000 is seems to making its way up to this trend line here, this channel trend line. It just slowly making its way up here in the last couple of days. So we'll keep an eye on it to see would it be able to get back up above this trend line and get above it. Then we basically be looking for the possibility of the Russell 2000 come up and make this all-time high test once again. And if it doesn't keep on pushing upward, then we be watching for this to pull back possibly to this 2194, 2195 area as the first level of potential support. Now, the Dow Jones Transportation did put in a new intraday high. You see there's 15,394.40, which is higher than yesterday's all-time high, intraday high, 15,384.82. But it did not close with a new closing high. Yesterday's close was 15,312.66. Today's close is 15,287.43. So once again, the Dow theory is in play because looking at this right now, let's before we go and talk about the Dow Jones Industrial, essentially we are still monitoring for this thing to come up, take out the 15,500 and move up and test the upper channel trend line. And it pulls back, then we are looking for this 14,969 and then possibly down here 14,242, filling this small little gap here. And now for the Dow Jones Industrial, you see the Dow Jones Industrial is finally coming back into this channel. So we're going to see what come down and fail to hold this 33,727, this 618 major move of this bull flag here. And if it doesn't hold, then we're essentially looking for the Dow Jones Industrial to come back down to somewhere around this 33,000 and filling up this gap. So, but again, because the Dow Jones Transportation closed with a new closing high and also made a new intraday high, the Dow theory say that's a high probability that we will see the Dow Jones Industrial to come up and close with a new closing high and also possibly put in a new intraday high. So that's one thing to bear in mind as we watch the Dow Jones Industrial pulls back in the coming day. So eventually we probably see it find some support and then push it back up to a new high. Now let's go and take a look at Facebook and Apple and some other FAANG stock that reported earnings so far. Now, before we go and take a look at Facebook and Apple after our price action, let's go back and take a look at those stocks that have already reported earnings and start off with Tesla. So you can see Tesla was projected to move up at the on the upside 788 and on the downside 670.80. And these projected level are based on last Friday's close and also what the option market was pricing in the expected move based on Friday's number. Okay, so you can see on Tesla, after we reported earnings, it start to come back down. And right now we are seeing that the price is below the Friday's close, and we might be seeing Tesla to work its way down to this lower number here around 670, because I do have a little bit of a support price zone here somewhere between this 660 area. And for Google, you can see Google has actually moved up after the earning came out, and today it's kind of pulled back a little bit, but still it hit that number, the projected move, expected move number of 2407.50. And right now it's basically moving back. So we'll see how they're going to close it for the OPEX this Friday. But they certainly have exceeded that projected upside number on the earning move. And for Microsoft actually exceeded the downside number. You see the downside number was 252.30, and it came all the way down to this 246 area before it bounces back up and back into this range here, this lower range here. So right now it's been it's pretty much hovering around 255, 254 area. And here looking at Twitter to see what that number is, see has it been changed. We're still projecting this 73.92 on the upside for Twitter and $60.12 on the downside. And right now basically is sitting right near the the Friday's close pretty much, right? So tomorrow after the close, Twitter will report along with Amazon. So let's go and take a look at what Amazon has been doing. Now, as you can see, Amazon is already met its upper range. The market was pricing in a move up to 3490.27 on the upside. And you see today is already hitting that number. And it was also projecting the downside move of 3191.49. So what I did is I also revised, got the updated number based on today's close and to what the market, the option market is pricing in based on today's prices. And the market is actually pricing in a plus or minus another $146 based on today's close of 34.58.50, somewhere around there. So right now we are essentially looking for a plus or minus 4% move on top of what is already moved from last Friday. So the upside target right now, we're basically looking at the expected move is $3,605, and the downside expected move is $3,237.99, so it's 32.38. Okay, so that's basically what we are expecting, or the market is expecting on Amazon's earning tomorrow afternoon. There are some price resistance zone up here just way above this 34.90, and there is a support zone down here somewhere around this 32.80 area. Now let's go and take a look at Facebook and Apple. Okay, here's Facebook. As you can see, it shot up to way above this $318, this expected move here. The high is 328, so it's almost got up to this 330. Right now it's sitting at 323.60, so it's definitely very positive response on the earning report. So we'll see what this hold up overnight, and will this continue tomorrow, or will it pull back into this zone here, into this range? And I do have a basically a little bit of a resistance zone up here from the previous all-time high, which is somewhere around 316. So we'll keep an eye on this 318.52 and see what it pull back and retest this level before it pushes up. Also, Apple have a very positive response on the earning. As you can see, it came up to this resistance zone here, but it did not come up to this expected move level at 140.32. It could put that in tomorrow. Who knows, right? We just have to wait and see. but right now it's pulling back to this 137.5. So we'll see what it pull back into, testing these highs here at this zone here, somewhere around this 135. So definitely the positive report from Apple pushed the stock up. So with these moves from Apple and Facebook, it also could help push the other FAANG stock, and you can see there's a little bit of an upward movement from Amazon also. So that could help pushes the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P to a higher level tomorrow morning if these these prices hold up. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up to help me promote and share this video on YouTube. Thank you for watching and stay safe.